Morning ladies and gents, welcome to Coffee and a Card, and today I'm going to be making a really special New Year's card, and I'm going to be using some custom mixed embossing powder, and it's going to be an easel card. So let's get on with it. Right, well first of all you need 3 pieces. The card base is 11" by, I think I cut this one slightly different, 4.5, okay? Then you want a gold piece. Now this is not Stampin' Up stock, this is contraband, okay? Just because I've got a great big wodge of it and I need to use it. Stampin' Up do a copper foil sheet and a gold foil sheet, and they're very, very luxurious, and they're slightly nicer than this, to be honest, because they're not quite as shiny. They're a bit more classy looking than this one, but I'm using it up because I'm not wasting it. So this has been cut to 5.5 by 4, and then I've got this piece is 4 by 5.25. And I'm going to be layering slightly different. I'm not layering one on top of the other. I'm layering them offset like so. Okay, they're going to be like that. So there's going to be a bit of a different kind of a line up there, if you just see. Okay. So I'm just going to put that to one side. I'm just going to explain again how to do an easel card, because one of my lovely customers was very confused last time I did it. Okay, so I'm going to just explain again. So this is the normal size card base, okay, and it's at 11. So if we was doing a normal card, we would score it at 5.5, and then we would just fold it in half. But what we're doing with this one, because it's an easel card, we're just going to do one extra score. And we're going to score it at, hold on a minute, 5.5 plus 2.75 equals 5.5 plus 2.75. 8.25. I couldn't remember then what it was. 8.25 we want to score it at, so we're going up here to 8.25. So your first score is 5.5 as normal, then you want one at 8.25. I had to work it out on my calculator then, because I forgot to write it down, and I can't add fractions in my head. Right, so that's that. Right, so then you fold all of those score lines. So that's your first score line. Fold it in, and that's your second score line. Fold it in. Give it a right good crease, okay? And then you go like that. So instead of folding it flat like a normal card, you're folding it like that. And that is an easel card. And then you're going to put something on this bit here to stop it shutting, okay? I'm just going to, don't know whether, but oh, there it is. I'm just going to do some extra burnishing because I want it to sit nicely. Okay, so now I can just move that to one side. That's my card base. Move that to one side. Now we're going to do some embossing. Now I'm using frosted medallions. I've used it a few times. I sold a lot of these when they were on special offer. So I'm not doing this video to sell it, I'm doing it to show you ladies what else you can do with it. Because I do like to show more than one way of using the same stamp set to show that they're good value for money. So I know a lot of my customers have got this, so this is especially for the ladies that bought this in the sale. And we're going to make a New Year card. And we're going to use some embossing on black card, which is going to look amazing. And we're going to use the large one, and we're going to use the Happy New Year sentiment and the best is yet to come sentiment. So I'll just quickly show you my embossing mix that I made, and it's the gold embossing powder with some sparkle. And if I show you a card front that I made earlier, you can just see that it adds an iridescent sparkle to that gold embossing powder. So what I've used is I've used the Stampin' Up Gold and the Stampin' Up Dazzling Diamonds, and I mean, you just mess about till you get the right consistency, but you always want more embossing powder than whatever you're mixing it with. I have done 1 part glitter to 2 parts embossing powder, and I've just taken literally the tip of a teaspoon like so with glitter, and then done the same again twice with gold embossing powder. I've put it in there, mix it, give it a good old mix, and you're good to go. Just make sure if you're doing quite a lot of embossing on a card that you mix enough, else you'll run out. So without further ado, let's get my stamps in that I'm going to be using. I've got that one there. We're all set to go. Heat gun plugged in. Yes, You never know, this one might go right today. Although it's very early in the morning, so I don't know. So I'm adding the Versamark ink to liberally all over to the stamp. I'm not using my dust buddy. I'm going to just be really careful. The reason being, I used it on this one, which was my first sample of trying it, and if you can just see, compared to the normal, it's just left a bit of a white look because it's black card. So I'm going to try and just be really careful, not handle my card too much with my greasy fingers, and just be careful basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stamp on the corners, quite a large one on the bottom, like so. Put some more on, keep applying it because you just don't know exactly where you're going to stamp, so just put it all on again, and then the top corner there, press, like so, and I just ink it again, and I'm going to do the other 2 corners, but I'm going to do less stamping on there. I'm just going to catch the corner very slightly, okay, so just very slightly because I want room for my sentiment, you see. So there, and I will have enough just there, okay. Then I'm going to get my sentiment, and I'm going to ink that up with the Versamark as well. And then I'm going to try and get it as straight as I can across the middle there. Make sure it's the right way up. Yeah. Be a disaster if it were upside down. I have kind of lined it up on my block before I've started so that it's, you know, relatively straight. I'm not too worried if it's not perfect. You know, handmade cards, unless you're extremely long-standing card maker, a total perfectionist, you're going to get the odd flaw. It doesn't matter because they're so nice and people are so grateful when you send them that they don't even see the flaws. They just go, wow, have you made that? And you're like, yeah, I have. And you just get a massive amount of satisfaction. Right, so you can, as you can see, I'm being very careful not to put fingerprints all over the front of my card because that adds grease, and then, you know, the embossing powder might stick to your fingerprints instead of your embossing ink, which we don't want. You know, it's not CSI, we don't need your fingerprints. Right, so I'm just adding that all over. If you don't have one of these trays, which are quite inexpensive, they're worth the buy. If you don't have one, just sprinkle it onto another clean piece of paper. Okay. Just give it a little tap, and then just, I've got a little piece there that I don't want on. Let me see if I can just get that. It's just, the embossing ink's just slightly smudged there. Let me just see if I can get that off with my finger very carefully. A little bit there we don't want. Okay, another tap. Just to get the excess off the card, because you don't want, if you've got all dust all over the card, you see, then when you heat emboss you'll have it everywhere. That's the idea of the embossing buddies, which are these, and they are very good, but on black card I try not to use it because, like I say, it does leave a dusty appearance. Let me just get rid of this. Right, just get rid of that there. Okay, Right, so turn it down now if you don't want to listen to the heat gun. Let me just pick it up slightly. And off we go. And it's just a beautiful effect. I'm not even that bothered if there's extra embossing powder on the card, because with it being a black card, it'll just look even nicer. Just lift it up so you can see it when it turns. There you go, can you see it going? Woohoo! I love it, I just love heat embossing. Honestly, I could do it all day long. I could do it as a full-time job. I should just heat emboss everything. Anything that's not tied down should get heat embossed. Simple. Love it. And the sentiment says the best is yet to come. What a fantastic New Year sentiment. I hope the camera's just picking up on that slight twinkle. You can see it there where it's not heat set. What a beautiful card. Eat your heart out, Clintons. It's nearly all done now, I think. A little bit more on there. I've got it all. A little tad there. Make sure you've got it all and it's all turned gold, which it has. Just a little bit there, look. Now what you can do while it's hot, what you can do is recover it in the embossing powder while it's still hot, and it will stick, and then heat gun again and you'll get a deeper colour. But I like this kind of almost, well, it's not a deep gold, it's a nice gold. I know what I mean. Right, so I'm going to bring the card base back in now. Okay. I'll just move my embossing powder out of the way. And I've got my card bases. Where is my card base? Is that my card base? I've lost my card bases. Is that me? There it is. Panicked then. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use fast fuse for the gold. I'm going to attach it to here. I'm just putting that there so that I know how many strips I need to go up to there. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on this bottom fold. Okay, start with the corner, line it up straight with the edges, get it lined up before you commit and press. There we go, that's that one. So it's stuck to the bottom fold, but it's not stuck to that top fold. Okay, so now we're going to put a little bit on there. Okay. I'm going to nope, that's my spare one, isn't it? Hold on a minute. I'm doing it wrong. That's my spare one. I need to stick this one on there. I've glittered Walla Walla. I was confused then. I was like, what am I doing? Why have I got a blank card? That was my spare one in case I did my heat embossing wrong. What an Anna. Okay. And then just up to there. Oh dear me. Right. And now we're going to line this one with this far corner here. Again, do it as careful as you can so you're getting it straight. Okay. and we've put fuse all the way up this black card. We didn't do it all the way up on the gold card because we didn't want to stick it to there, but on this one you put fuse all the way up because you're sticking it to the gold card. So that is the card base done. How pretty is that? Okay, now we're going to do our stopper because it's going to stand up like that and rest against something there. Okay, so there's the card folded flat. So now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use this punch here, whose name yet again I have forgotten. No idea what it's called, can't remember. It's not the classic labels because that's the skinny one. Is it the fancy? Oh, I don't know, I've forgotten. It's that one anyway, you can't mistake it. There's not that many label punches in the Stampin' Up catalogue. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to use this Happy New Year Versamark. Okay. And we're going to do it down here because we're going to use the punch. There we go. Nicely done. And we want some embossing ink on it. I don't know if I'm going to have enough there. I might have to. I think I'll just put some more in and then sprinkle a bit more on. Make sure it's stuck. There we go, that's better. Move that out of the way. And then we'll heat set that. So turn your volume down. If your card starts to warp, just heat it from the underneath and warp it back straight. But it doesn't actually really always matter that much. Keep moving it about. Okay. Right, I'm just going to give that a minute to cool down, and in the meantime I'm going to punch another one out in the gold card because I'm going to layer them. Oh, I've popped my button out. Push it back in. Oh, there you go. That's one thing that sometimes I do. Because I tend to push on the button, sometimes the button, you think you've broke it. But they just pop back in. They're very, very sturdy. But what you should do is always try and punch there either side. Look at my thumb. I trapped it in my tripod legs and bruised it all. Right, so that's that done. And now this is dry. Now it's going to chop off a little bit of this because the punch is not quite big enough, but it doesn't matter. Get in. There we go. Just trying to slide it into my punch. There we go. Right, now try and just centralise it the best you can. And make sure those flourishes, because it's going to chop a bit off at the end, make sure it's equal at both ends. Which that is pretty not bad actually. 2.5 flourishes we're getting. Punch. Right, now you just layer them up with Stampin' Up dimensionals. One on top of the other. And then offset it just slightly, main camera, just slightly offset it so you've got a staggered look, so you can just see the gold card. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to double bubble, which means we're going to put Stampin' Up dimensionals on and then put another Stampin' Up dimensional on the top of the dimensional. Are you with me? What that does is it lifts that sentiment right up on the card so that you've got a step, as it were, on the, and that's how the easel cards stay up. And then when you're not using it or you're posting it, you fold it down. So we've double layered there. So you can see there's just a little bit of a bit of a step there. See where you want your card to. Oops, get it the right way up. Get it central. I think I'll have it there. I think that looks nice. And then it'll, there you go, stay open like that. Now, they are very hard to show on camera, easel cards. But there's the final, shall I zoom out? I don't know. Yeah. There's the final effect. How beautiful. You will have a better picture in the thumbnail, and there will be a lovely picture on my blog. So check it out. Have a go. Easel card. When you want to post it, just fold it flat. Absolutely stunning. Make your own embossing powder and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.